Canada strikes back, imposing 25% tariffs on U.S. goods. Welcome to U.S. Fast News. Stay ahead of the latest breaking news, global updates, and in-depth analysis, all in one place. At U.S. Fast News, we bring you real-time coverage on politics, business, technology, and more. No fluff, no delays. Just fast, accurate, and reliable news to keep you informed. Hit that play button and let's dive into today's top stories. The trade relationship between Canada and the United States has entered a new phase of tension following the Trump administration's decision to impose tariffs on Canadian exports. In response, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced retaliatory tariffs of 25% on a wide range of U.S. goods. This move is seen as a direct response to President Trump's imposition of a 25% tariff on Canadian exports and a 10% tariff specifically targeting Canada's energy sector. Trudeau's response was not merely about trade. It was a passionate speech that underscored Canada's historical alliance with the U.S. and the potential consequences of this economic conflict. He emphasized that these new tariffs would not only harm Canada but also significantly impact American businesses and consumers. The Canadian Prime Minister warned that these tariffs could disrupt the North American automotive industry, increase prices for essential goods such as food and fuel, and ultimately weaken the deep-rooted economic and security ties between the two nations. A history of partnership and cooperation. During his speech, Trudeau highlighted the long-standing partnership between the two nations. From fighting side by side in World War II to standing in solidarity after the September 11th attacks, Canada and the U.S. have historically been allies in times of crisis. He reminded Americans that Canada has always been a reliable partner, providing crucial resources such as nickel, uranium, steel, and aluminum that fuel American industries. Trudeau urged Americans to reconsider the perception of Canada as an economic rival, stressing that both nations have benefited from years of close economic ties. He lamented that instead of working together to address economic challenges, the Trump administration had chosen to escalate trade tensions with measures that would hurt both sides. Canada's retaliatory measures. Canada's response to the U.S. tariffs is substantial. Trudeau announced that his government would impose 25% counter tariffs on $155 billion worth of U.S. goods, with $30 billion in tariffs taking immediate effect and the rest to follow within 21 days. These new tariffs target a broad array of U.S. products, including the alcoholic beverages. American beer, wine, and bourbon will see significant price increases in the Canadian market. Agricultural products. Canadian consumers will pay more for Florida orange juice, fresh fruits, and vegetables imported from the U.S. Household appliances and furniture. Items such as washing machines, refrigerators, and wooden furniture from the U.S. will now be subject to higher costs. Industrial materials. American plastics, lumber, and various raw materials critical for Canadian industries will also face new tariffs. Beyond tariffs, Canada is also considering non-tariff measures to strengthen its negotiating position. This includes potential restrictions on the export of crucial minerals and energy resources that the U.S. depends on. By leveraging its natural resource wealth, Canada aims to exert pressure on American policymakers to reconsider their stance on tariffs. A call for unity and economic self-sufficiency. In his speech, Trudeau called on Canadians to support domestic industries and reduce their dependence on U.S. imports. He encouraged consumers to prioritize Canadian-made products and urged businesses to seek alternative trade partners. Additionally, he suggested that Canadians reconsider their travel plans, hinting that vacationing domestically instead of visiting U.S. destinations would be a patriotic act in the face of economic aggression. This call for economic nationalism is expected to have a ripple effect, strengthening local businesses while also sending a clear message to Washington that Canada is prepared to stand its ground. Message to the Trump administration. Despite his firm stance, Trudeau emphasized that Canada does not seek an escalating trade war with its closest neighbor. He expressed his willingness to negotiate a fair resolution, highlighting that Canada had attempted to reach out to the White House before implementing these countermeasures. However, he noted that his attempts to contact President Trump had gone unanswered. By publicly stating this, Trudeau positioned Canada as the more reasonable party in this dispute, reinforcing the idea that Canada is reacting defensively rather than instigating conflict. This strategic messaging could help Canada garner international support, while also pressuring U.S. businesses and lawmakers to reconsider their trade policies. The future of U.S.-Canada relations. While the situation remains tense, Trudeau expressed optimism that the long-standing partnership between the two nations would ultimately prevail. He acknowledged that economic disagreements are a natural part of international relations, but emphasized that the U.S. and Canada have weathered many challenges together in the past. Many analysts believe that these tariffs could be temporary, particularly if they lead to negotiations that result in a more balanced trade agreement. However, the longer the tariffs remain in place, the greater the potential for long-term damage to both economies. Several U.S. industries, including agriculture and manufacturing, have already voiced concerns about the impact of Canada's retaliatory tariffs. Some American lawmakers, particularly those representing districts that rely heavily on exports to Canada, are expected to push for a reconsideration of Trump's tariff policies. The imposition of these tariffs marks a significant shift in U.S.-Canada relations, testing the strength of an alliance that has endured for centuries. Trudeau's firm yet diplomatic response signals that Canada will not back down, but is still open to dialogue. Meanwhile, American businesses and consumers will likely feel the effects of these economic policies, potentially influencing the political landscape ahead of future trade negotiations. As the situation unfolds, it remains to be seen whether the Trump administration will respond to Canada's countermeasures with further economic aggression or choose to seek a diplomatic resolution. Regardless of the outcome, Trudeau's message is clear. Canada will protect its interests, support its industries, and stand firm against unfair trade practices. Don't miss out. Subscribe now. Enjoyed our content? Stay informed by subscribing to US Fast News. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to never miss an update. Like, comment, and share to help us spread the news faster. Your support keeps us going. What are your thoughts on today's news? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video.